All right, guys. I just got finished watching The Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 6, episode 3. It's called Dismissed. And we get Lisa. We get her. She's planning some type of event somewhere. I don't know if we're going to actually go to this event or if this is just her just trying to show that she do big things and she a big deal out here, up here compared to the other ladies. Basically like name dropping all these celebrities that she works with, saying that, she's a big deal out here. She actually be booked and busy. And lawsuits just come with the territory, right? They come, they go, everything's fine with her. She got 6 lawyers, as we already know. She be on the line, do. Hey, this such and such happened. Do. Hey, this is what happened. Can you let me know? D. She gonna call all of them first, and then she gonna call John in the end. Bronwyn and Todd, they go to lunch. They basically just talking about life and stuff, their relationship. They doing a lot better since the reunion. He's unchanged some things. Bronwyn says on her part, she probably didn't change too much, but she appreciates him, stepping up a little bit, right? Talks of her dad. He got Alzheimer's, so I guess dealing with him, living with her was just becoming a little bit too much. So they end up putting him in a little home. So they're just hoping that things go well for him. In the meanwhile, her mom is living with her. So, I think her mom had like a surgery for brain tumor, some similar around, times, the scheduling, should we say, with both parents. Like one is going down, then one's getting better, then the other one's going, so the mom is doing all right now, but with all this talk, we find out that she actually reached out to Meredith to talk about these problems. So I guess that's kind of at least one person that she has in the group to, try to build a relationship with versus trying to be friends with Lisa. I can't remember if Meredith, did she have some problems with her parents? Maybe so with her dad or something. I can't remember. It's like season 1, season 2, something like that. But either way, they do talk of Lisa. She does tell Todd everything that happened about the party and everything, all the name calling and things of that nature. And of course, him, he just be like, look, I don't even know why you deal with her. Like, you should just be done with it. Let her go. Like, because everything that she done did, she done said, like, it's pretty much unforgivable in his eyes. But, if Brahman want to be on this show and she's going to have to be around this group, she's going to have to be around Lisa. And it's just, it's part of the territory, right? But we'll see how this is going to go in the long run. Because, he going to stay out of it, but he ain't going to necessarily be quiet about everything. Angie is over at her dad's house, just talking to him about his life growing up in Greece and stuff like that. Hard times, but now things are good, things are better. And yeah, she just loves her dad and all the, let's say all this dad talk, right? Especially when we get to the end, because it ain't nothing to do with dads, right? But listen, we got to get all this family stuff out the way, right? So we get to Bronwyn and her mom, and they are talking about her dad, obviously, with her mom moving in. I'm guessing this is the permanent thing because she's actually cleaning out her house. And with that, obviously, the motions, going through the motions of everything. It's just I guess a difficult time just for them emotionally, just having to deal with all of this. Somewhere along the line in the conversation, I guess we get to how Bronwyn is feeling where it comes to, because this Alzheimer's that the dad has, as we know, they remember things, they forget things, right? So what he is remembering is not necessarily Bronwyn as this adult lady that she is, but more of her like 18, 19-year-old self going to college, confusing her with her daughter Gwen and things of that nature. So with her, she brings up just, how that was a difficult time for her, being pregnant, this and that, having to take the long route to get to where she is now, right? So here her mom kind of throws in a little slight dig, I mean, not necessarily on purpose or anything, or maliciously, but just saying like, oh yeah, well, you got Todd, like you would never been able to get where you at now if it wasn't for Todd. He helps you out, a lot with financially and all that type of stuff, right? So of course, Brahman is like, really? You gonna say that? Look, especially on camera, I know she wasn't expecting it, but hey, it is what it is. Listen, a lot of people, it happens that way. So girl, don't feel bad about it. You ain't the only one. And especially Bronwyn shouldn't feel that way, only because you're on a show called The Real Housewives of, and pretty much all the housewives would not be where they at if it wasn't for their husbands. So let's be real, girl, and most of them don't even work. So you actually work. Heather and Angie are at Heather's house. She's doing some renovations because I guess for the most part she been working out her room, doing all her business deals, and pretty much running everything from her room and her bed. So it's like, okay, well, since all the girls is going away finally and all this stuff, so let me embrace this new chapter and change some things around here. And one of them being, I'm a actually build a whole office space for herself. Or was it an office space or a love den? I don't know. Either way, Angie was over there to help her with some of the paint and things like that, ideas. And they just talking about what Heather got a new book deal. This will be book number 3 for her. Angie is going to apply for Greece, Greek citizenship, blah, 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 citizenship in Greece, so that she can be, I guess, bi-coastal or international, bi-international, because then that's a whole nother country. Be American and Greek. She can go back and forth with no problem, either way. Her daughter, as you know, is growing up as well. Because she is an only child. So I guess her and Angie, they like all real tight knit, her husband and her daughter, but she's getting older. So she's noticing that, right, she be wanting to do stuff by herself or with her friends and not necessarily with mom, which happens, right? They don't want to be with you all the time, especially once they hit the teenager stuff. Yeah, they gone. So of course she's, a little sad about it. But it's all right. Talks to Lisa in that party because, whoa, wasn't that a lot? It was, because she was attacking Angie it was for a reason, but it's like, listen, it wasn't just me. It was all of us that was talking. So for Angie's like, girl, she ain't never gonna change. She's gonna be the same old Lisa. This, Heather brings up, oh yeah, because Angie said, yeah, same old Lisa. She thinks she better than everybody, this and that. And of course, Heather was like, yeah, she did say that when I went out to lunch with her, talking about she lives a whole different lifestyle than the rest of us. And I'm like, girl, no, we all do the same stuff. What do you mean? We go to the same restaurants. We be at the same parties. Like what? But either way, like I said, Lisa, she up here, right? They all down here. And yeah, so that's the only thing that Angie just ain't feeling like, which pretty much all the ladies feel is, why won't she open up and just explain herself? That's all she has to do. So, speaking of explaining yourself, we're getting down to, I guess, the main event, should we call this, right? Lisa, Heather, Mary, and Amy. Okay, we got Amy again. She said like 2 words. But they're ski shooting at the little lodge. And, Heather was like, okay, this is fun and all, but did you invite the other girls? Like, where everybody at? It's just us? Lisa was like, oh, no. I just wanted to invite y'all, because this, we're going to have lunch. But I just thought I'd invite y'all first, so we can do our own little thing separately from the group because, I can't, this is some things going on with the other ladies but I invited them to lunch and we're going to meet them, just in a few and then, we'll go from there. So, Heather just kind of looking like, well, okay, what's like, what's with all the secrecy type thing, but okay. All the ladies begin to arrive, like one by one by one. So of course it's like, okay, we're done with the thing. Let's go downstairs. We're gonna meet the other ladies, and they're like, hey, what's up? They walk into this room, and it's just this. It's like posters everywhere on what you call them I'm going blank on the words, but where you put a poster on the the easel. The easel, the axle, whatever easel thing. But anyway, it's like pictures, blown up pictures of the lawsuits, and pictures blown up of her and John. Okay, like her and John on a boat or a yacht, her and John at like a jazz game. The lawsuits, some of them have big stamps they dismissed on it. So they're all just looking like, what is this, a presentation? What's going on? I thought we was coming to eat lunch. Like confusion. So they sit down and Lisa like, okay, this is the clarity lunch, okay? This is all about me. Look at it. Isn't it always? But anyway, it's all about me. Y'all can ask me anything, and we're going to get some clarity about the rumors, the accusation, the lies. All the lawsuits have been dismissed, as y'all can see, on the posters, point A, point B. And they're all just still kind of like confused, like, girl, what? This doesn't prove anything. What is... So she like, okay, well, ask me some questions. So Angie volunteered to be first, right? So she like, okay, well, listen, there was a dude who said, and I think they're all focusing on one case, okay? So she's like, dude, he said that you had to open up a credit card in his name so that you can spend some money behind John back. You owe somebody some rent. Something about remodeling of a home, like maybe, or renovations on a home, remodeling something, maybe you forgot to pay the people. I don't know, something to do with that. And something about somebody paid her car off for her. Okay, so I'm guessing this all has to do with one individual. They never really dropped a name or a picture or anything to say like who this person is. I don't know. I guess we'll have to look it up or something. But either way. So, of course, Lisa's trying to go back and forth with her and say, no, it's all lies. Everything's been handled. There's nothing in my, I ain't got nothing out there in my name, this and this and that. I don't owe nobody anything. And Bronwyn and Whitney is just looking like, no, girls, this still doesn't, you want us to get clarity, but all we're hearing is denial. So, and they're trying to tell her, like, listen, and we're still reading stuff because this one case, like I said, they're only focused on is still open. And Angie's like, okay, well, listen, you kind of just, I guess Angie was just trying to say that she started it from her point of view. Okay, well, you did research and started digging up on Bronwyn, right? So, I did some digging up on and did some little research on you. Okay, so this is the stuff that I found out. Lisa is like, because Bronwyn, it was kind of like a tag team kind of match going on here with this sitting down. Okay, so Bronwyn kind of course, is catching fire as well. And Lisa's like, yeah, and Bronwyn, you're only mad because you got busted over the dang jewelry that you couldn't even buy. And of course, they're going back and forth because, well, I I actually, said that I couldn't afford, then I explained myself, but you didn't even show up to the camp talking about you was busy or something. And she like, yeah, I was busy. I was at a premiere with Ben Affleck and this and that, all these different celebrities. So I was busy. And Heather's like, well, yeah, she did tell us while we was at the camp that she bought a replica. She didn't want the necklace, this and that, explain how it all happened. Lisa at this point is just heated, okay? Like if just yelling. So most of everybody is just staring. Like Mary is just kind of staring. Amy is definitely just staring because, bitch, I don't even know what's going on. Y'all invited me here and y'all ain't even get to talk to me. Y'all ain't getting to know me. Like, I don't even exist. Of course, Brittany just, kind of sitting there. Meredith didn't say anything either at this moment. But with all the back and forth and yelling going on, Lisa just has the question like, okay, well, what were you guys hoping to gain from talking about me behind my back? And mainly just looking at Angie, because Angie was the main one that was speaking. Mary interjects just a little bit here just to say like, okay, well, you keep talking to Angie, but we all was talking about you. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't just be piling up on her. And of course, Lisa's trying to get Angie to answer the question. So Angie's trying to answer the question, but every time she says something, Lisa just keeps saying, oh, da, 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 da. And then she says, okay, well, I'm trying to tell you. Well, dang, I can't even get a word. And you make it so frustrated for me because I'm trying to explain something to you, but you won't even let me talk. So Angie like, yeah, all I did was I added on to a comment that was already made, which was made by Bronwyn first. Okay, so technically you should be going after Bronwyn. She's the one that started it. Then I added on, and then Whitney came with the alley-oop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whitney came and finished it. And with this, Lisa, like I said, she's just going, just saying all types of, just spewing all these insults back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And she ends up saying, oh, well, you try to compare me to Jen Shaw. Like, how you going to compare me to Jen Shaw? And you trying to look like Jen Shaw. You want to be Jen Shaw. Like, look at you. Your hair is the same. Y'all even go to the same brow girl. And so here, the conversation got kind of broken up just a little bit because everybody else was like, I mean, well, I go to the same girl too. I mean, yeah, she good. Yeah, you see these brows? She did you too. Yeah, I be seeing her on Saturdays. So it wasn't like, girl, okay, is that a dig? Because we all kind of go to the same, we know what to say, like, go to the same salon, or what do you mean? But anyway, like, comparing, contrast, I don't know. Miss Waiter lady comes in and she's like, oh, excuse me guys, hello, y'all want to order lunch? So of course they're like, okay, it's time to order lunch. But before they can even order the lunch, of course Lisa's just still going and getting louder and louder and louder. But eventually they do try to say, well, I want some chicken and fries and this and that. They do get a little order in, right? So Whitney just brings up the question like, okay, well then, like, if you was accused of asking for $400,000, like, what do you expect us to do? What do you expect us to say about it? Like, come on now. And Meredith jumps in here to say like, okay, I mean, whatever you got, there's a whole bunch of accusations about you out there. So does that mean that we're going to believe all the stuff? So come on now, like, don't, we all know, what it is, the blogs and all that stuff, rumors and this and that, lies. I mean, some of it is true, but for the most part, we're just, you just assume everything's a lie at first, right? Or everything's untrue, at least at first. And Whitney like, girl, you could just be quiet. Don't be trying to jump in here because you didn't even say nothing the whole time we was at the camp. So you ain't got nothing to say right now. And Meredith, like, no, actually did say something. I don't know why y'all trying to act like I didn't. Who was it, Brittany or Bronwyn? Brittany or Bronwyn, either one of them was trying to say, well, yeah, because we wanted you the lawyer here, we was trying to get your expertise, your advice on the matter. And of course, Meredith, this is my friend, I'm not gonna go into details about stuff like that, especially when she wasn't here. Y'all know I wasn't gonna do that type of stuff, but I was defending Lisa because that is my friend. And then Mary does back her up a little bit to say, uh wait, did Mary back her? What did Mary say? Or did she say, no, you was quiet too? She probably did say you was quiet too, because, you know, her and Meredith kind of having a little thing on the side too. But either way, the back and forth, the back and forth, the back and forth. So Lisa versus Whitney is how we kind of close this out a little bit, right? We don't even get no lunch yet. And Whitney is heated. They going back and forth, like I said. You this, do this, do that, you that. Stay out my business, though. You stay out my business. All your business is all on TikTok and everything, so you see everything. Well, who cares about all that stuff? Like, you got stuff out there too as well. It's all the same. And Wendy's like, you're the one that's just trying to cover up the truth. You're the one that's doing all this lies and this and that. I ain't trying to cover up nothing. I told y'all all this is dismissed. I ain't got nothing on me. And of course, Whitney, she stands up at this point, and I can't remember what she said. Something, I forget what Lisa said, but it was either something straight up about the business or her husband. Okay, I want to say she involved Justin in this because the business does involve Justin a little bit. That's her partner in this, her other investor in this as well. But yeah, so of course it makes her super heated, and she gets up, goes like literally all up in her face, like, girl, you don't even know what the heck I'll be going through. This and this and that. You the main one that shouldn't be accusing me of this and da, 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 da. Especially being the one, this whole thing. And she's like, ooh, I just can't take this. Like, I think she was going, like, I think that's why she had to walk away, because literally she got all look, she wanted to hit her, but of course she didn't. Lisa tried to throw a little napkin at her, she throw it back. But she like, yeah, I can't take this, I'm triggered, this and that, and then she just storms off and leaves, right? And they gave us the to be continued, while everybody just looking like, oh my God, what the heck just happened? Whitney come back, like, what the what? Because yeah, Lisa. This should just be called the Real Housewives of Lisa Barlow, because this whole season, I can already see this now. It's only episode 3. Every episode is gonna be something versus Lisa, something versus Lisa, something versus Lisa. Every single one, I already know it. But hey, we're gonna have to just figure it out and see how it goes between Bronwyn, between Whitney, how her and Meredith is going to navigate whatever they got to navigate, and Brittany's shenanigans. I don't know. But either way, it's to be continued. Hopefully we get to go to this party that she got Steve Carell and all type of stuff, people coming on there. I'm like, is they going to really show this? Because I don't know. They don't be having people like that on a show like this. But we'll see when we get there. Maybe they'll blur them out or just give them like a quick little flash coming in the door or something, or sitting at the table. But we'll see anyway. Salt Lake City, season 6, y'all. Dismissed.